Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of City Skylines with me, CityZilla. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not, welcome as well. And we are going to be jumping into Crater Lake today. We did end up reaching our next milestone. It was literally right after our last episode. We had hit 60,000. We were so close. We were like 59.5 or something. This one doesn't really give us a whole lot. It gives us the standard airport stuff that has been with the game for a long time, but it does give us a square, which is really what we need. And so we are going to be diving into some future possibilities probably near the end of the episode, so stay tuned. I want everybody to kind of vote on what we're going to be doing, and so I did want to jump into a couple changes I made off camera. So the first one is I built out this lovely little tram exchange, and I'd gotten a suggestion because we were having so many issues in this area dealing with all the trams. Like, this is a main tram corridor, and so we literally have all of our tram lines running down this street. And what was happening is this red line and this green line had a stop right here, and it was just causing a whole lot of backups. I know we've talked about it a lot in a few episodes, but I decided to build this nice little tram exchange. I put in some bushes and a little bit of foliage, and then I even put in a couple little stalls. Like, this is a soda stall, and then like a food stall. These are park assets, and then some benches and just some little tram stop overlays and stuff, or some tram shelters. And it just looks really nice. It's definitely freed up all the traffic here. So like now the white line can go through the yellow line. And another thing I was doing while I was working on this, I had realized that we were having some backups in our metro as well. And so I dove into a lot of our transit options and just adjusted a lot of the lines, like specifically our buses. We ended up having a few that have like 20 buses, and so I dropped them down. And then the metro, I upgraded them all to except for this one, to the high capacity, which is that 500 person per train. And so it really allowed us to drop down. Like, this one's now only 2, and it does look like they're getting stuck behind those other cars, but we still have 81% car trip saved, which is pretty good, and they're moving pretty fast. And so the goal really is, I mean, with 500, you can pretty much pick up everybody. And so there's really no point in having just a ton of metros there. And so really like how well utilized this area is. It's just so cool to see like an area that is just blowing up like this. It's so fun to see all these people walking around and then standing in here. It just makes it feel so much more alive. And so another small fix I did, I built out a couple small neighborhoods in here. We are definitely in need of some residential, and we haven't been building out any low density. And so I decided to just do some simple residential neighborhoods, nothing really crazy. 2 entrances, they are connected through this underpass bridge. And then I went ahead and put a fence going all the way along the rail line. And at first I was kind of unsure having these this close, but I've seen houses actually that are normally like this, and just, space. And so it helps us to kind of capture that more of a, dense vibe as well. Like, if it was space that was available, it would probably be built into a house. And so I like how it looks. It does look like I kind of messed up right here though, because I don't really want, looks like they're like on the path. These are like little baby houses that basically built up in the park. I'm sorry guys. Like, they even got a dog too. They're probably so upset. I'm sorry, that was my mistake. And so in today's episode, we are going to be building out a nice tourism kind of plaza area. We're going to use the new chirper balloons that came out for the birthday. And then I'd gotten a suggestion to do some more hotels and stuff right here, just because the stadium, having this kind of small little stadium area definitely wouldn't suffice. And it's kind of funny, they're going abandoned because we still are having goods issues. And so we are definitely going to have to address some industrial as well. And so we definitely have a lot on our plate. Let's go ahead and dive into that plaza first, because it's really going to help shape up this side, and then we will be able to kind of reassess everything after that. And so the first thing I want to do, we are going to drag our tram lines over here, because I want to do like a little bit of a tram exchange. I've gotten a few ideas from watching a few Candy and then Overcharged Egg. They've just been doing some fantastic builds recently, especially with plazas and trams and stuff. And so I wanted to mention them because I did get some inspiration from a lot of their stuff. And so thank you so much. I super love the content. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's definitely worth it. And so I am going to choose the eyedropper, and I'm going to grab this little guy right here. And then we are going to upgrade this road. And I want to turn off collision, because I really don't want to lose those paths. It does tend to put rocks on the road, but I think we'll end it right there, because we're going to put in an entrance right there. And then what we will do is jump into our tram roads now. And I'm just going to hook up the tram going through this this roundabout. It's kind of tricky too, because I think we're just going to have to turn it. Because I would like to do a curve. I just don't know if that's going to be the easiest of solutions. And so I think we will go like that. And then what we'll do is just soften it up a little bit. And then obviously having those palm trees there, it's not the greatest. If we turn off, if we turn back on collision, all we have to do is grab the road and then it will all disappear, hopefully. Though it's kind of funny, the rocks don't do it. Oh, yeah, there you go. So the rocks did disappear. Perfect. And so now what we need to do is connect this guy up as well. We'll go like that, bada bing. And then let's make sure that this intersection is still okay. And then I think we're going to mess with the offsets in this guy too, because having this many junctions in here would definitely be helpful to have these a little bit higher. I think I'm going to go to 15 because it's just going to help this this roundabout run a little smoother, having them wide like that. And then it provides a little bit more space for the trams to kind of make it through too. And we'll go ahead and do that for this one as well. And voila. It does look like we have a stray rock. Let's go save. I think if we just grab this guy. It doesn't want to do it. You can do it. All right, I'm just going to have to delete these guys. And there we go. We are rock free. And so the first thing I want to do, I want to level out this area. It is kind of uneven, and then we do have that kind of cliff face. And so I think it would be really smart, especially since the city would be spending a lot of money on this. And so I think they would grade it all out. Especially for such a big project like we're going to do. You guys are going to see it's going to be really cool. I'm excited about it. We did mess up the cliff face a little bit. Kind of wish we hadn't done that. I'm not going to mess with it though. I know if I start playing with that, I'm going to really kind of mess up that edge even more. And so I'm just going to leave it. Maybe we'll come back to it. And so I'll go to trams now. And I'm just going to go to a simple, probably vanilla tram road. We will do one that is able to be driven on, not a one-way. So we'll probably do this guy, 2-lane with tram, 2-lane road with tram track sports, low traffic. And it's because we don't want people using this as like a cut through. And there we go. And then I'm going to jump into the network multi-tool and just create a nice slope out of this. Yeah, there we go. It looks like it even like leveled it out. That works. And so I'm going to jump in here as well and straighten this out. I'd rather it be straight. There we go. Perfect. And so what I'm thinking is we will do a nice plaza in here. We'll probably do some offices around the outside. And then what I was thinking for this area is putting in the expo center. Because of its close proximity to the stadium and all this parking and everything and the hotels, I think this would just be a really good location for it. And I was kind of playing around putting it in here instead, but I think putting it on the side and then putting a nice plaza in the middle with the little chirper balloons is going to be one of our best bets. So we're going to do, yeah, there we go. So I think this is going to work out really well for this area, especially it kind of being geared towards tourism. I do want it to be in the back though. So I think we're going to put it like right there and we'll just do a nice little entrance. So we'll come in here and we will go over to here and we'll grab this guy. We'll come up here and then let's go ahead and jump into a 2-lane road. Let's go ahead and do the trees since this would be a nice area. We'll come out one square and then let's go ahead and fit that guy in. Yeah, we'll go like that. And then let's go ahead and do a parking garage on the side. So I think we're going to do this modern one. And you know what? That is going to fit perfect. And then I think what we'll do is we'll just jump in here, turn on that and level this up so we can get that nice clean look. And then I think what we'll do is we'll just move this guy back. Yeah, there we go. Because we really don't even need this. And I could put it around the side, but I think what we'll do is do some zoning right here. And so it'll kind of block it up. But then I want to do some nice landscaping and stuff. And so, all right. So what I'm thinking is we will jump into a 1-lane road. We'll come up over here. We really don't need the platforms to be that big. So we'll probably go like right there and we'll go like right there. And then let's go ahead and connect this guy up. And then what I'm hoping is, yeah, there you go. That's perfect. So we'll go like that. We'll go like that and voila. It does look like this one's at a little sharper of an angle, but we're going to end up filling this all in with concrete. So I'm really not too worried about it, but we are going to turn these guys around. So I initially was going to do just one ways, but I think it would actually be smarter to have it as 2 ways because it just gives us a little more room to have trams going the other way and it gives us some expansion opportunities because I already know that the 2 lines, we want to have a line coming over to this tram station and then we want to have a line coming over here. All right, so now that we have that, what I want to do is create our little square, and we are going to do some small zoning around it. So we're actually going to use a small road. We're going to go like that. And then we are going to use this road with trees. I really want to. I'm going to turn off road guidelines. We're going to go out. Let's see how that looks. Now, it's too far. So maybe we'll draw this in, and then we will go like this. And then let's go ahead and look at that chirper building. So we'll go like this. Voila. And look at that. It fits so perfect in the middle. But then what that allows us to do is now come back and draw in this road. So we're going to go like that. And I want 1 square of zoning on the side. Yeah, there you go. That's perfect. Perfect. That actually worked out a lot better than what I was thinking. I kind of wish it was a little bit farther, and so what I'm thinking for this is we are going to do organic and local produce. We're going to only be putting in commercial on this intersection. So I'm really not too worried about it. Being a organic and local produce designation for the whole thing. And so we're going to go like that. And then we will come in here, and I'm just going to zone this guy all the way around. We want to go like that. Yeah, look at that. And so the goal is for us to actually get like some nice little organic shops. So I want to then draw in our paths. So we're going to get out of here, go like this, and let's go ahead and go like right there. And then let's copy that on this side. So if we go like right there, and then is there a middle in here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like right here is about the middle. I'm actually going to turn off snapping so that we can go right in the middle. Yeah, there you go. That is perfect. And then let's go ahead and do a couple little paths over here as well. One of the keys to this area is that it's going to be really nice to kind of walk around, and it's going to be really interconnected. And there we go. So we have some really good connectivity here, and that's really what I was trying to go for here. It's kind of funny. I didn't actually connect up these paths. So, all right. And so now let's see what kind of zoning we can now get in, even though we kind of butchered a lot of this. So I think we will do little 2x slots. Maybe right here we'll do 2 3s. And then back here we'll do little 2x slots. And then up here, what we can do, let's go ahead and do 2x's. So let's go like that. And there we go. We'll leave these empty for us to be able to do some other stuff. So then now what I want to do is come in here. We're going to go ahead and do office zoning. And we're going to leave that free, but we're going to come up here and do this all the way across. Because a lot of times whenever you're dealing with areas like this, office space is definitely something that ends up being sold. Working in an area like this is really convenient. You can kind of go to lunch at one of these stalls. It ends up being really nice for the employees. And so now I want to try to identify areas that we can put in some planters or some sort of landscaping. I see this area right here, and we could actually do some nice little patterns where they're both the same size on either side. But then I also see these little squares in here. We could do some nice planters. We could even have it kind of turn and then maybe branch off over here and then come over here. And then I do want to do another unique building over here as well. I think we're going to do the Statue of Wealth. I think it was that one, yeah. We could do the Statue of Shopping though too. What is that one? No, we'll Plaza of the Dead. And we'll do this one because I really like the look of it. It doesn't look like it's too crazy, though. I think he's holding like an American quarter. And so let's go ahead and do that. I think that actually looks really good. And then we will come in here and draw in our path. Yeah, there we go. And then I also would like to turn this into a park. No, I think we're not going to worry about that. We do need to still finish off our tram lines, and I have something exciting for that. I think we're going to end up connecting it up probably over here too, so that we can connect it up to this loop, but then follow it down this path. And so now what I'm going to do, I am going to draw out some planters. It's going to be super easy. I'll actually run over it whenever we are finished, but I'm going to use our little white curbs again, and then probably do something simple and then copy it all the way around. But I will be right back. And voila, here we go. I decided not to get too crazy with it off camera. I am going to start doing the clipped segments on my Patreon. So if anybody's interested in watching me actually design this stuff out, I don't put it in the normal videos because I feel like it's a little too heavy. So if anybody is interested, the Patreon link is in the description and also on my channel page. But I'm going to start putting them up there for anybody who wants to check them out. And so this is what I'm thinking. I just did the planters. I did end up putting in some benches and a little bit of stalls, but I want to wait and see what kind of grows in first before we start really getting crazy with it. I decided not to do this segment over here because I want to be able to show you guys some things, because I think we're going to treat this more as a park, because the dam's over there. This would just be like a really nice view, and I think this whole plaza right here is just a really great addition. So we're going to go ahead and unpause it, and then I am going to just get the water pipes in real quick. And there we go. And so we have our nice chirper balloon launching off now. This is just fantastic, and it's kind of funny since we only have one. He kind of goes way out here and then comes back. It's really an extensive balloon tour. Like if I had paid for it and I went that far, I would feel really pleased about my purchase. It's a really great deal. And so if anybody's looking for a balloon tour, Chirper balloon tours now on sale. There is a pretty big backup though. You may need to do like a reservation or something. It's definitely in demand. I want to make sure, look at this little rock, and we have rock issues. I literally delete so many rocks from our roads. It's kind of just ridiculous. It's because of this new, like prop and tree anarchy. I think it has some sort of issue with rocks where maybe it doesn't see it or something. I'm not sure, but I do have quite a few rocks that end up on my roads. Same with logs. Logs end up on the roads too, but I think this looks really nice. I do want to go in and finish doing surface painter around this little guy right here. And so we are going to do a tram line over here too. But I already think this looks great. I did end up extending the zoning for this guy because I wanted to get a little bit bigger of some shops too. Like I really like this organic corn, sustainable cuisine, but then it has this rooftop garden. It's just really nice. It's going to help to create kind of like a shopping center, kind of vibe. And that's really what I'm going for here. Same with this. Like this is just such a cool little hotel, it looks like, but it has like a rooftop little patio as well, which is awesome. Then by having these offices right here, it's going to really help to create that atmosphere that we're going for here. And so let's go ahead and complete our tram line. So what I'm thinking, we're going to jump out of this guy. We're going to go ahead and pause. Actually, no, we can unpause, but we're going to delete this path. And it is kind of a redundant path. They can walk on the road. We are losing a little bit of a benefit with that, but I'm not super concerned about it right now. And so I do want to go in the middle with this guy. We're going to go like this. I think right there's in the middle. Yeah. So then we're going to come down, and then we're also going to come down here, and we are going to shift our water tower over, and we're just going to imagine that that was already like that, since water towers don't tend to get moved like that. At least I'm pretty sure they don't. If water towers do get moved, you guys can always let me know, like, oh yeah, this is a common practice. Water towers are moved all the time. Something tells me that that's not the case though. And so it looks like this curve's a little off. Let's go ahead and just, yeah, there we go. And then let's go ahead and grab our picker road. Go like this, and then go to unmodded. Come over here and start upgrading this guy. We only needed to reach this road right there. And so now we've created a little bit of a loop. All right, so I want to come over here, and we are going to go make sure we're in unmodded. We're going to come across, and we're going to build a bridge. And I want the bridge to be kind of landed way up there. And we're going to go ahead and connect it right there. And then we are going to probably have it come all the way down here. So let's go ahead and pause, because we are going to really be making some changes now. So we're going to delete these guys, and I think we're going to have to come back and shift over those palm trees. So let's go ahead and grab our road again, and we are going to upgrade this guy. And then we are going to upgrade this guy. And then we should be able to now jump into our tram road. Shift this guy over, and I don't know what it is today, but our water towers are really just moving out of nowhere. And so I think for this guy, instead of having it come up through the middle, what we're going to do is we're going to have it curve down. So what I would like to do is actually do something with these. I know I've been talking about it for a while, but I've been waiting for us to actually need it. And so I think we're going to do that with this guy too. We're going to go ahead and delete that, and then we are going to go back in, go like that, go like that, and then it does look like we're going to need to adjust that just a little bit, not a lot. We need to go like this. There we go. Look at that. I think that is great. It is kind of a sharp turn, but trams are normally not super long cars, and so they can take full-blown turns like that. So let's come in here, and then now what we're going to do, we need to make sure we're unmodded. I actually think we need to come from the opposite way. And there you go. So I wanted to make sure that we had a nice smooth transition, especially since these roads are not smooth. Let's go ahead and try to fix this real quick because this is kind of embarrassing. It's kind of funny. I've gotten quite a few comments on the bumpiness of our initial roads, and I do see them. I just, like streets and cities a lot of times, especially if they have hills, they are really bumpy. They're not even. Like that is in a lot of places, they would not spend the money to smoothen this out. And that's why I haven't really gone back and changed them a whole lot. I do want to turn this into a ground piece though. I think we're going to keep that like that because having it as a bridge piece actually is kind of nice, and we really don't have any need to connect it up right there because we can go ahead and put a stop right here. And so now we have connected that guy up, and then we have connected it up to this loop. So let's go ahead and jump into our trams. All right, so we are going to go from right here, and then we're going to come down here, and we're just going to do one stop right there, and we're going to do one stop right there, and we're going to come up here and go into our little station. We'll do it right there. And then we will come up here. We're going to turn down this way. I go this way. We're going to connect it right there. And then we're going to skip this whole jumble and just have it go right there. I really don't want to do too many redundant lines. And we could do one the opposite way too, just because we can. So we'll come up here. We'll go like that. And we'll come in here and let's go like that. Go like this. Come down here. Go like that. And then complete it. And there we go. So now we have why is it? Oh, there you go. Now we have two new lines that go all the way from our little station over to here. And so now if anybody was in our little tourism area, they would be able to make it over here pretty easily. And so now what I want to do is create another line. We're going to come up here and we're going to come down this way. And we are going to connect up our first stop right there. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to do another stop. Oh, you know what? It does need to be a ground piece in order to do stops. I completely forgot. I don't know why I didn't remember that. You can't do stops on bridge pieces, which actually makes sense. It wouldn't be too safe to have a stop way up on a bridge piece. And so we're just going to upgrade this guy. Yeah, there we go. And I like how it's still raised up over here. I think that's smart. I'm going to lower that just a smidge though. Okay, so now let's jump back in now that we've fixed that guy. And we're going to come over here, go like this. I'm going to turn this back on just so we can see. We're going to we'll go right there. And then we are going to go right here. And then we are going to come into our station. And I would like to be on this side. So we're going to go like that. And then we're going to come back. And because this is a back and forth, we really don't need to do two lines. Because it's going around the same path rather than a loop like the other one. And then we are going to come up here and we are going to complete this guy. I would rather not do that. So maybe I can't loop around. So yeah, maybe it'll loop down here and yeah, we'll have it go right there because I really don't want it to loop around this in that weird way. And so now let's jump in here and change the colors. So 11 and 12, we're going to go to green, and then we'll go to 10, we'll go to orange. Let's go up here and get away from purple. Let's go to red. Now we have, just a ton. So let's go white on these guys. We can go like a lighter orange on that one. So yellow, we'll go a darker green on this one. Yeah, there we go. And then I think we only have access to one tram line, or one tram style. It's kind of funny. It's like a dark green, but it was so dark it looks black. But it works for our purpose. We just need them to be different. So let's look at our area while we're waiting for those trams to populate. This is already coming together so cool. I like that there's like little alleyways for people to walk through, and especially if you worked here, like this would just be so nice. It does look like my curb is not like the greatest right here. How did that... I even messed with this already. So this area is looking awesome. I really like how it looks. And I like that we did the little tram stop. I really like that we have the offices in here. I think it just makes it look so good. And I kind of want to do a fountain right here. So let's go ahead and pull up one of those park fountains. Here we go. So we have the large fountain. Let's look at this guy. So yeah, we will do... It's like on a hill. I don't know if that would be a thing. I'd say, something tells me that it wouldn't be. That seems pretty weird. We're just going to leave that like that. Really like how this is looking. It is looking fantastic. It looks like we even got our little balloon. He's stopped. I think this is the first time we've actually seen it change out. That was like really fast. We didn't even see anybody jump in. It was like crazy fast. They're trying to get through the whole line. Again, if you guys are interested, make sure you jump on those reservations. It is filling up. But I really like these little stalls. Look at the soy and lentils. Mom sprouts. We got this little thing right there. This is just looking so cool. I think there's more zoning right there. So we're gonna have something grow up there eventually. Our commercial demand right now is just not great. And so let's go ahead and do something with this area now. I'd really like to possibly do some park assets. So let's jump in here and see if maybe we can do... I mean, we could do these guys. I think sporting stuff in here would actually look kind of weird. So let's go in here. I think do the small guy. So it just makes it some nice little walking areas. We're just going to increase the paths a little bit. I was kind of hoping for something a little more extensive back here, but I think what we'll do is just do some trees. Because I really don't want to do anything super crazy back here. This would just be like a really nice area. And then I think I'm going to come in here and do these live oaks. I think they just, they're such a good tree, and I've used them so much now, but they are definitely my new favorite tree. And then let's go ahead and put in some small rocks in here too. Yeah, we're going to go. And then I think I'm going to trace the paths with bushes because I really like how that looks. Going to drop the spacing down to 2, and then we will kind of trace this guy all the way around. Up, those are rocks. All right, and there we go. I ended up just putting those little bushes all the way around. Did some foliage, some light stuff. I kind of wish we had the nature reserve assets right now, like doing those little patio decks. I think those are really nice. But I think as we do the nature preserve in the future, we will add those. And so I think this area looks really good. Go ahead and hit that like button if you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any suggestions for this, go ahead and let me know. And so I think now what we're going to do is we're going to jump over into a couple other areas that we can address within the city, that we can add in like some residential or something, because we definitely need to beef up our residential. And then with our next square, I have a couple ideas. So we can either unlock this and do an interchange expansion of our main downtown, or we can unlock this area and we could extend our tourism kind of beachfront. I have a cool idea to do like an amusement park right here probably, and then some more waterfront tourism hotels and stuff. Or we can unlock this guy. And I wanted to do like a small regional airport right here. And then I wanted to do another downtown right here, but it was going to be more of a tech focused downtown where we do some of the IT cluster buildings. And then because of its close proximity to the university, we would end up basically using this whole river convergence as another downtown. I think it's a really cool idea. So go ahead and let me know in the comments what you guys think. I will try to do a poll as well in the community so that you guys can all kind of vote on it. And so now I want to try to look at some areas that we still have available. We do have this, but I want to try to save that. I think we will end up doing some more industrial right here. And then we are going to do a residential expansion right here. I just want to, this whole hill right here is something that I want to try to do at once. I tried doing this whole front side without doing the back side, and it just kind of came out really weird. Because I have an idea to do like some more terraces and everything, kind of like our waterfront area or like our uptown area, but without having the whole hill, it was just kind of hard. And so I think right here would probably be a good spot for some small residential, just a small little neighborhood. Nothing too crazy. We will end up doing probably low density, and then we'll maybe put a little park in, something nice for the area. And so we'll just go like that, and then we will come out here and then just go out one, and then come across, and then come down, and then complete that guy up. And then I would really like to get full zoning off of this backside. So I think what we're going to do is actually jump in here. We're going to go to the level tool, and we're going to increase this waterfront just a smidge. Not a lot. That already looks so much better. We did clip the little side right here. So then now we should be able to jump into zoning adjuster and just click these guys. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. And then let's do a little park in the middle. Nothing too crazy, just something nice. Probably a playground, that's what I'm thinking. So we'll go like this. Maybe we'll do something bigger. Maybe the large playground, small park, Yeah, I think we'll do this. We'll put this guy right there. And then let's go ahead and jump in here. And we're going to go to the little gravel paths. And then let's go ahead and do some zoning around the outside. And what I'm going to do is do 2 squares of zoning on the front. And we're not going to zone on this street because I really want it to be like a neighborhood. And then it allows us to kind of get those smaller houses too, which really help to capture a nice little vibe for the area. So then for in here, what we're going to do is actually zone in these, and then I want to do some paths around the outside so that we have a little bit of access. And you know what? I honestly think that that's probably good right there. I don't really like that we only have one road access. This would be pretty dangerous, and so maybe we will actually add in one for fire safety. Maybe we'll just connect that guy up right there. Yeah, there you go. I don't particularly like how it looks, but it at least allows a little back entrance for this so that if anything were to happen on this road, it wouldn't immediately turn into just a crazy tragedy. And so now what I want to do is come in here, and I think we're going to go to those young linden trees. I really like how that guy looks. And so we're going to come in here. We'll probably increase the spacing to 4. Yeah, look at that. So now just the neighborhood has a little bit of a kind of backing. It almost looks like a wall. I'm just going to go ahead and throw in water real quick. And there we go. And we should, yeah, we're already connected to the grid, which is great. And so let's go ahead and look at some other areas. And we could smoothen some of these out. Let's go ahead and smoothen this little path out. That looks really unsafe. Yeah, look at that. That looks much safer. Looks like we filled up a lot of the available space that we had. The park is still something that we need to work on. And we could do high rises on this road. And that's actually similar to how, because I had based this off of Boston, and Boston's main couplet has residential off of it. And because it's high rise, it wouldn't really be the end of the world. We're going to go ahead and let that grow in. I don't know if I'm going to actually like that or not, but this couplet right here was based off of Boston. That's kind of how I got the idea to do these couplets in their main like business downtown, not the historical one. They have a really big like double avenue like that, or couplet. It looks really cool, but it has a lot of residential on it. That's going to help us to alleviate some of the pressure. I was honestly hoping to get commercial in there, but I think we'll end up doing commercial right here once our demand kind of comes in. But then by putting those there, it's actually going to help us capture a little bit more of a realistic vibe. So let's go ahead and look at our schooling. So our schooling's actually not doing great. We have an elementary school right there. Let's go ahead and figure out a spot to put in an elementary school and a high school right here. So I think what we're going to do is go ahead and put in an elementary school within this neighborhood. And we're going to end up deleting some houses, but I think it's just going to be really important for this area. So we're going to go ahead and put one right there. It's going to really help to relieve some of the pressure here. But then what I want to do is create a nice little area for a high school, and then probably a library and a nice little area over here. Yeah, there we go. And then let's go ahead and fit in the high school. So we'll go like this, and then let's do a small parking lot. And I think we're just going to do one of these square guys. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. And so I'm just going to throw in some parking. All right, so now we have a nice little high school here. Let's go ahead and put in some sporting. So we're going to go like this, and then we're going to put this guy in right next to it. And then what I want to do is come in here and do a community pool. So let's come in here, and then we're going to do a library in the front too. And I don't really like how that library's set up. I think we're going to shift that guy over here, and then let's put the community pool across the street from it. And then that way we can do a nice park right here in the middle, because I don't want to just throw these in. I want it to all kind of go together. Yeah, there we go. So now we have a nice little area, and then what I can do is come in here and do some paths and stuff. I think what we're going to do though is raise this road up. I'd raised up some of the roads, but I didn't raise them all up. Yeah, there you go. At least it's going to give us a nice even terrain now. Yeah, there we go. And then what I think we're going to do is go ahead and fill the rest in with paths, and then do some landscaping and stuff and make it into a nice like education complex almost. But it would be a nice addition for the area, so that if somebody needed to like go to the library or even to the community pool, like maybe their kids learning how to swim or something, it would all kind of be in this one area. And we could even put in some small commercial right here too. Let's see if we can fit in maybe we could do the cemetery. I think having the cemetery next to the community pool might be weird. So what we could do is put in the dog park right there, and then let's see about putting in the playground. So a small playground. Yeah, there you go. Because then it just kind of fills it in. I don't particularly like how off this guy is, but I think what we can do is come in here and just kind of soften this out. I think that looks good, and then it's a little bit better of a use for that space. And so then what I'm going to do is just jump in here and do some foliage around and then kind of clean it up with some trees and stuff. Make it look nice rather than kind of empty. And there we go. I think it looks really nice. It's definitely like a big park, but then it has a bunch of the service buildings in it. And so it's going to really help out this area a lot, especially with the new inclusion of high density in the area. And that's really what I was kind of worried about. I think for this front section, what we'll do is do some light commercial. We're only going to do the 2-bys. So it's just going to help us to get some gas stations and little shops and stuff, which I think are going to be nice. It's kind of funny. All these are upgrading now. All these people are like, yeah, this is just so great. And then let's see how our new high-rise residential is doing. So let's see. So educate more citizens. So it looks like they're doing okay. I want them to be able to level up. Now what I'm hoping for, since they have that new schooling area, it's going to really help to kind of beef up this area. I do want to put in some palm trees around this little middle section. Actually, no, we'll leave it like that because I still have, I think we're going to end up extending out the metro over here as we expand this area. And so I think what we can do too is expand our little residential down here too. I was going to put in another unique building, but I think if we do one right here, it might actually put a little too much strain on the area. Yeah, there we go. Just added a couple little roads over. I wanted to keep the symmetry, but then what this is going to do is just allow us to come in here, and I think we'll do some small commercial on the front side. So we'll go like this, put it on this main road. It's going to really help to provide those little shops for this area. Then we'll go like this. And then for the rest of it, we will fill in with high density residential. And this should really allow us enough buffer room to be able to kind of focus on other things for a little while, especially if we do like another airport or something. We really shouldn't have to worry about residential for a little while, but who knows, we might still have to. So that's definitely one of the biggest issues with this game is you just need to keep building out more residential. Go like that. We'll jump into this guy, go like that, go like that. And you know what? We have done a lot on this episode. We still do have something we can do here. I was thinking about extending the park over and doing something else over here, because I think having this all right here would just be really cool to kind of keep doing it, like continue it over here, but then maybe with another unique building or something. But man, we've really done a ton. We filled in a lot of space. We filled in this guy, filled in that guy, and I really like how this looks. I think it was smart getting the library and then the high school over here. And then more residential, which is always needed. And then this new little plaza, I really like it. I think this looks fantastic. I think this little open area right here looks kind of weird, but I think the backside turned out really well. And I like that we got the little station in. I think it all just came together really well. I think if we do another chirper balloon, they'll actually travel kind of to each other. And so I think it'll end up looking a little better. And so if you guys liked the build out, go ahead and hit the like button. If you're interested in watching me build out this lovely park with the museum, go ahead and hit the video on your screen. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next episode.